Do you need a work from home job right now? Well, good. Stick around because we're going to talk about the top work from home companies that are hiring right now, and we'll also talk about how much they pay. And the pay is actually pretty good. I'm going to speak from personal experience, and I also have a little special bonus for you guys at the end if you don't quite have your resume up to par. So stick around and let's jump right in. As you all know, many of us are returning back to the office. Some of us have shifted gears and are now just freelancing or doing our own thing. And we all need extra money. Now we're in a position where that extra money doesn't have to come from doing some sort of manual labor outside of your home that just makes it inconvenient for you and your kids and stuff. So I've found work from home companies that are very flexible in scheduling. They actually pay well, and the work is actually pretty enjoyable. So I'll tell you the companies that I've personally worked for, and I'll also give you an extended list of companies that you'll probably find interesting to work for also. So let's get started. I have my list here. The first company on my list is OMNI Interactions. OMNI Interactions was probably one of my favorite companies to work from because they let you pretty much write out your own schedule. They have a really short training program that you do get paid for, which is usually just a couple days. So you don't need a ton of experience. And the type of work that they do is IT support desk, or you could be a customer service representative. I think the minimum that they paid when I did it last year was $14 an hour, and they pay up to $17 an hour. And it doesn't just have to be like customer service, like working a help desk. You sometimes will get to work on products or projects like working for a tax company like Intuit TurboTax. That was also something that they offered my team when we were doing it. OMNI is my top choice. My next choice is a company we've all heard of, which is WILLIAMS-SONOMA. So if you have any type of experience in any type of retail place, like WILLIAMS-SONOMA is going to be very easy for you to work for. Their positions are customer service agent. They also have positions where you could respond to people calling in about tracking information for an order that they might have placed. It's also very laid back. They're a little bit different from OMNI, whereas OMNI is more of a contracting company. WILLIAMS-SONOMA is a corporate company. And so if you worked for WILLIAMS-SONOMA, you would actually have benefits like healthcare. You have paid time off. There's also, other opportunities for moving up into management. I want to say when I worked for them, they started me off at $15 an hour. And depending on your location, how long you've been there, that can obviously go up to $20 an hour and more. And what's great is that they actually seem to have a promotion path that was very easy for people to hop on. So if you want to start out as a customer service agent and work your way up to a supervisor, I had a personal friend that actually did that in 2 months. So she went from 15 an hour to I think maybe 17 an hour. And then she kept getting raises as she moved up. This was in just a couple of months. And so I think WILLIAMS-SONOMA is a really cool place to work at if, you want to be flexible, work from home, kind of create your own hours, whether it's full-time or part-time. And also they give you a really huge discount on the products. I think the discount was 40% back when I worked for WILLIAMS-SONOMA. Hopefully that's still the case, but it's a huge discount. Real quickly, I just want to add that the interview process for these jobs are super quick. I think when I did the interview process for WILLIAMS-SONOMA, I literally only had to talk to the recruiter once and I got hired on the spot. Same with OMNI. So don't think that it's going to take weeks and weeks for them to like go through your resume and all of that stuff. Usually it's just one phone call and it's maybe like asking you what your background is, how fast can you type, what would you do in a situation if a customer is upset? Like very simple, straightforward questions that are very easy to answer. So the interview process is just super easy. As long as you've got a decent resume, you pretty much got the job. And then the third company that I've worked for, it was KELLYCONNECT, and they do a lot of contracting for big tech companies. So one of the companies that I contracted for with them was Apple, which was super cool because, you know, you got to be a part of all of the big iOS updates. They gave us like a lot of gear for us to use. Like they gave us iMacs and, you know, other iOS products. And so it's a really cool company to work for. You may not get put on a big tech project. It could be some other project that isn't tech related. You know, it could be, you know, customer support for Verizon or something like that. KELLYCONNECT was also a cool company because they give you bonuses every week. So if you have good customer satisfaction surveys, then your bonus, at the time, it was like an extra 10 or 20%, depending on the project. So like you get your paycheck each week and then an extra 10 to 20%, which, you know, was really, really good. And I think they, at the time, this was a few years ago, they were paying about $11 an hour. But from what I've like researched, they're paying much more than that. Maybe somewhere around 13 or 14 per hour, obviously with the opportunity for you to make more. So that's also a very flexible work from home company. They used to do like a lot of company-wide events where we'd have like virtual parties. There would also be like, you know, training opportunities for if you wanted to go into management. So these are like my top 3 companies for like flexibility, pay, and also growth and opportunities. They usually don't care if you have like a second job or anything. Just make sure that like you coordinate your schedule and stuff like that. And, you know, just obviously make sure you're a good performer. So those are my top 3 choices. Some other companies that you can pretty much apply for that are also hiring right now and also pay somewhere around $15 to $17 an hour. Care.com, VioRide, Arise, that's ARISE, Arise platform, Assurian, NextRep, Support.com, Sykes, and Wayfair.com are all companies that are hiring for virtual remote work. And these are all, you know, pretty chill companies from what I've read and researched. And I've had friends that have worked at pretty much all of these companies. And they all say, you know, like most of it is either customer support, technical support, maybe a little bit of help desk, but you just don't need a lot of like background or experience because they train you. They send you through some of their training programs are a couple days, some of them are a couple weeks, but it's pretty much all paid training. So these are like really good alternatives to fill out as well when you're doing your job applications for other companies. So lastly, a lot of people say, well, Jazzy, I don't have the perfect resume to apply for these jobs. What do I need to put on my resume? And the truth is, it's customer support. So you don't need to have like this PhD or just a ton of education or certifications or anything like that. I actually used like a very simple resume that was like, I won't say dumbed down, but I just kept my resume super, super simple and clean so that when the recruiter saw it, it had like those keywords of like customer support, technical support, CRM systems, escalations, those keywords that help your resume get pulled quicker. So I actually created a resume template for anybody that doesn't feel comfortable submitting their resume as is. I've done a template. All you have to do is pretty much fill in your name and go from there, start applying for jobs, get your hustles on, you guys make your money, and let me know how it goes. So I hope you found that helpful, and I look forward to creating more content for you. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please do so now. And please let me know what other stuff you want to see in the future. Until then, I'll see you guys later. Bye.